everyone, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a book haul. I have so many books. These are books from January, February, and this month, which is March. And Luna is just chilling underneath her box, which I'm giving you the box. Lay in it. Now she's looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, why are you talking to yourself? Are you okay? She's so pretty. But yes, I have all of these books. A lot of them are mythology, and some you've already seen in a Dollar Tree haul. But I want to start with the one I'm currently reading, and that is Stormrunner by J.C. Cervantes. This is all about Mayan mythology, and it's a Rick Riordan presents. It's part of his imprint publishing company, and I am loving it so far. I homeschool my daughters. I have 3 daughters. I have 3 kids, and they are learning about Mayan mythology right now in their history class, and so this was perfect. And one thing that my daughter pointed out, I'm on chapter 17, and she pointed out today that I haven't been paying attention to is the dots under the numbers. That signifies their numbers, and then there's also lines. So if you don't know Mayan mythology or Mayan history, their numbers, the lines are 5s and the dots are 1s. So this is 6. And she pointed that out to me today, and I was like, I've been reading this for 17 chapters and I'm just now seeing it. But yeah, it's really good. And it's teaching my kids Spanish, and it's bringing back my Spanish class from high school. So yes, highly recommend. So yes, since I'm on Rick Riordan, he didn't write that, but he published it. I got the Kane Chronicles. I have been wanting to read these ever since I read Percy Jackson, and I'm reading the Heroes of Olympus right now, which is like Roman mythology, and this is Egyptian. So the first book is Red Pyramid, the second is The Throne of Fire, and the third book is The Serpent's Shadow. And I will be getting to these soon if my daughter doesn't beat me to them first, and if she doesn't steal them, because my oldest, she's obsessed with Egyptian history and ancient Egypt and everything. So, and I just love the box set. It's got pharaohs, and yes. So I don't know which pharaohs are which. It could be King Tut, it could be Ramses, it could be Hatshepsut, Cleopatra. I don't think it's Cleopatra. No, because these are like Egyptian, not Roman Egyptian. So yes, I can't wait. Here's another mythology. This is Mesopotamia, which is modern day Iraq, and this is City of the Plague God by Sarwat Chadha. This is another Rick Riordan presents, and we read this last month because once again my kids learned about Mesopotamian mythology, or in ancient Mesopotamia, back in December and January, and we read this and we were just thrilled. It talks about Gilgamesh, and it talks about the Plague God, about this virus that just is trying to wipe out the world. And the author's note, Sarwat Chadha, says that he wrote this way before COVID-19 happened, and that he thought about holding off on publishing it this year because he didn't want to be seen as profiting off of COVID-19, which totally different. This book is so freaking disgusting, and it's great. If you're not a fan of bugs, then prepare yourself, but I highly recommend that you read it even if you are not a fan of bugs. I hate bugs, and I wanted to throw up a couple times while reading this because it's just sick, and it's gross. But it's very good, and I'm still bitter about Harry and Betty, which is like 2 minor characters who does not do anything for the story at all. They were my favorite characters. So yes, highly recommend. And I think this is a standalone, which I would not be mad if there was a sequel. Last mythology book in this pile is Lore by Alexandra Bracken. I bought this in January, right when it came out, and Alexandra Bracken, she's one of my favorite authors, but I've only read the Darkest Minds series from her. And I mean, Medusa, she is one of my favorite Greek myths. So, and I know this is not Medusa, is it? I don't know. So I need to read it. But I like the snake heads. So that's Medusa. This is the original. This is not an exclusive edition. And yeah, I've already talked about how I love the cover in my favorite covers video. So I'll link that down below if you have not seen it. But yes, I love mythology, if you cannot tell. So let's get to the stack that I've bought. These I bought as well. But okay. So this stack I've already shown in the video, my Dollar Tree haul. If you have not seen it, I'll also link it below. But I bought the young reader's adaptation for Racing in the Rain by Garstein. It's that movie with Milo V in it, and he's a race car driver and he gets a dog. I'm not watching that movie and I'm not reading the book, so this is for my daughters. It's a young reader's adaptation, and I bought this for $1. The next one is a sequel to the first book in the series. Once again, Dollar Tree doesn't have like first books in the series, but it is Rumors by Anna Godberson, and it is a Lux novel. This is the second book in the Lux series, and I don't know much about it, but I'm going to be picking up Lux sometime this summer because I've heard great things about it. And I love the original covers with the flowing ball gowns, and I don't like that kind of stuff, but yeah, I like these covers better. Okay, again, $1. One that surprised my husband because it has a Target sticker on it, and this is A Stranger in the House by Shirley LaPena. Once again, I got it from Dollar Tree for $1. I didn't get it at Target, and this book came out in 2017. So check your Dollar Trees if you have one near you or in your area. They have like new-ish books and releases. So I got so many new releases from Dollar Tree, and it's ridiculous. But yeah, I've been wanting to read a Shirley LaPena book. I've heard great things and not so great things, but I feel that I'm already making my Halloween TBR, and this was right on that list. So yeah. And then the last book I got from Dollar Tree is Chasing Embers. This is the first in a series by James Bennett. It's set in a modern city with dragons. Is she going to jump in her box? I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, she is! Look how pretty she is! Okay, let's go back to the books. And this last stack of books has been sent to me by publishers for blog tour spots. So the first one is Yolk by Mary H.K. Choi, and it's got these sisters holding hands. I think one of them has cancer. About two estranged sisters and how far they'll need to go to save one of their lives. It's on sale. It's in stores now. But I think one of the sisters gets cancer. I'm not sure. Because it don't. And this is from Simon & Schuster. The next one I got City Spies, Golden Gate. This is the sequel to City Spies by James Ponti. The first book takes place in Paris, or I think in the Scottish Isles, something like that. It's about these kids. They're misfits, orphans, and it's kind of like MI6 but for kids. And they're hackers or stealers and thieves. Not thieves, but they're juvenile delinquents that can get away with pretty much anything. And yeah, so this one takes place in San Francisco. And their code names are where they come from. So one girl is from Brooklyn, New York, so her code name is Brooklyn. One's from Sydney, so her name is Sydney. And a boy's name is Rio, so he's from Rio. One boy was found in Paris, so he's Paris. And it's very great. And I loved the first one. And I've been watching for the sequel. And I was so glad to be able to host this blog tour spot. And my blog is linked down below, so if you want to go check out those, then you are free to do so. But I'm so happy. I'm beyond excited. Another one. If you have seen that 4th grade rap teacher on YouTube, he wrote a book. And this is called Simon B. Ryman by Dwayne Reed. I will link the video that went viral for him down below. And this is just about a little boy who loves to rap, but he has anxiety, or he's like stage fright whenever he has to speak in public. And he's just so cute. And yeah, so this is a great read for kids, and my kids loved it. So this next one I've already talked about in a wrap-up, so I'm not going to go into detail, but it is Ground Zero by Alan Gratz. And this is about a boy who experiences 9/11, and then a girl that lives in Afghanistan who is experiencing the American invasion and trying to fight the Taliban. And yeah, so it is gripping. I've cried 3 times. I angry cried, and that's rare. My husband came home from work one day, and I was just like screaming at this book and crying. He's like, "What's wrong?" And I just wailed on him. I was angry at everybody, and it's just... So if a book can get me angry like this one, then it's an automatic 5 stars. So I highly recommend that people of all ages read this. But if you were severely affected and lost somebody in the terrorist attacks, then I don't recommend it, because it does have a lot of trigger warnings. And it goes... I don't know how accurate the experiences that he experienced in. Like, there was fluid falling down in a sheet, and one woman ran through it, and she immediately caught on fire because it was... And I don't know what it was, but I wonder how accurate that is. I haven't read any accounts from survivors who made it out from the top floors or right underneath where the planes hit. And yes, I can't do it. But I gave this a 5 out of 5. I will be reading more from this author because he does pack a punch. And yeah, really great. This book did not come from a publisher. It came in an Alcrate box, and I bought it. And that is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. This is a Romeo and Juliet retelling, but it's mafia inspired in Shanghai or Singapore. I think it's Singapore. Or Shanghai. In 1920s. And I loved mafia. And anything in the 1920s. Those two, like... You don't get it. I mean, there's not many young adult set in the 1920s or mafia based. I love anything with watching the mafia, documentaries, reality shows, books. Goodfellas is one of my favorite movies of all time. And Public Enemy with Johnny Depp is another favorite movie. And... so yes. And I think what brought this on is that I was in a play in 7th grade called Bugsy Malone, and it was set in 1920s Prohibition, Fat Sam's Grand Slam. It was a speakeasy, and there was like down and outs there was like a gang. So yeah, can't wait to get to this. I will be getting to this summer. And the cover, I just love the dagger and the dragon and the roses. But yeah, and there's a sequel coming out this year, I think. I don't know what it's called, but I will be picking it up soon. So thank you, Alcrate. The last book that I have today was sent to me by MB. I don't know the publisher. Mascot Books, for a blog tour spot, and that is Straight as an Arrow by Adriana Eden. And I think it's like a Christian fiction. And it's a coming into life story of Amelia, a young girl of deep faith set in the turbulent 1960s. As she reaches puberty, Amelia makes a vow to God and to her mother, promising to remain chaste until she marries. So begins her journey into adult life away from her sheltered childhood existence, searching for her happily ever after as she follows the way of all souls who set forth to achieve their dreams. This book contains scenes of rape which may be upsetting to some readers. And blush warning, the bedroom door is thrown open wide to reveal what really happens in a marriage bed of the faithful. So, if you've been a long time viewer of my channel, you know that I am not very religious. I cringe at religious readings, and I kind of roll my eyes at when there's long passages talking about God. I don't believe. I'm agnostic. There, I've said it. I am agnostic. Because I had religion shoved down my throat by my brother as a teenager, and no. But I will give this a try, but if it's like, God this, God that, I probably will DNF it. I'm planning to do a 24-hour readathon at the end of this month during our spring break, and this is one of the books that I will be picking up just so I can see if it's for me. That is it for my winter 2021 book haul. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you read any of these books, mainly the mythology books and Shirley Pena, let me know down in the comments. And I will see you on my next video.